Hey folks, this is the grease inside the Harbor Freight's Bauer polisher. This is from the Rotory. It wasn't much different from the other one, the random orbiter I bought, but it smells like medicated Vaseline or medicated ointment or something like that. Ugh. Alright, so what I'm doing is I'm cleaning out all the grease from inside here. I still got a little bit left, but I'm going to do my best to get as much out as I can. I'm not going to be too picky, but I'm going to try to get basically 99.9% of it. And then after I'm done, I'll be able to repack it with some red tacky grease, and that'll quiet these things down. They're quite noisy, I have to admit. I am actually surprised at the overall weight of this thing. It's quite heavy, I have to admit. Alright, I cleaned out as much of the grease as I could. I used this with that rag. So then I got this little gear here, and the little worm gear or pinion gear. I cleaned it off of here, took all the nasty grease off of here, and like I said, that grease actually smelled like medicated ointment. It did not even smell like grease. So I got some red tacky grease. Some Lucas's. I'm gonna go repack this full. Remember, you only finish packing it up to the waffling inside here. That's it. As far as you go, a little bit around that, and coat this gear real good, and you'll be square to go. Other than that, I'll stick it on there, I'll turn it, and I'll take it off, and I'll repack it again. But it's real simple to do. This is your nose cone. The big screw goes in the top. The two smaller screws go right here on the bottom side, and then they plug in there. And then that'll be your nose cone, and then that's for you to handle your little platypus grip. And then yeah, that's pretty much it. But I gotta get this worm gear back on. This is the casing for it, so we'll go repack this with grease. Alright, so I repacked it with red grease and put some around the gears. Just line up your shape. And it should pop right inside there. No, that's it. And then I just put the screws back in. Which, once again, these are all 4 screws here. There's one. I couldn't get them off with a screwdriver, so I used a mini impact right here. So that should help with that. Just gotta make sure I line these holes up right. I don't want to strip nothing. That's all aluminum, it looks like. This thing is heavy though, I have to admit. It's super heavy. Alrighty, now I wound up getting these little Lucas tubes. This was enough to do the long throw 21mm polisher from Bauer, and this one, the repack it with grease, and it's actually almost completely empty. So you get basically 2 machines out of this one little tube here if you buy 2 of them. I'm going to wipe it off and clean out the rest of the grease here, but other than that, everything seems to be going in. Alrighty, I cleaned it all out, made sure there's no grease on it, so nothing ever affects my buffing pad or contaminates it at all. So other than that, I have to admit that it's got a little power light. It's got the actual RPM speed here, so it's nicer to judge, and it's right on top. So it's nice to be able to just switch it from right where you're at. So not too bad. 600 for a compound, and maybe 1,000, 1,400 somewhere in there for some compound polish. Other than that, it is pretty heavy. It's pretty girthy. I give it that, man. But other than that, yeah, it's good to go now. That's basically how you refurbish these things, because the grease they put in there, like I said, it smelled like a medicated Vaseline or ointment or something. It was just like, it was Vaseline color, but it smelled like medicated Gold Bond lotion or something. Anyway, I repacked it with red grease, and that should do that for that. It really does help keep it cooler a little bit. The gears have a little less slop going around in there. It doesn't sound so grindy, so just to help smoothen things out, that's what I wound up doing with this as well. As you can tell, this is the 7-inch rotary. The model number on this is the 56792. So other than that, it is not too bad. Actually, I think this is the 1913E-8. Anyway, that's how you do it, and it's pretty much done. Once I go and stick these little screws back in here, I could screw this back in. The 2 little ones go on the bottom side here, if you get them lined out. And then the longer ones, that's better, right there. Sorry guys, trying to show you so you could kind of understand. Anyway, you take these off here. It's kind of hard to do it with one hand. I'll see if I can do it. Yeah, I don't know about that. Anyway, you get that. You get your two smaller ones here on the bottom, right? And then right here, right in that little slot, you'll have the longer one, which is this big. You can tell it's longer. And you just stick that in the top here. That's where that goes. So anyway, once you screw all them in, you're good to go. I don't recommend a handle. Some people like one. I don't. I like to just grab a hold of it and take care of it from there. Alrighty. Alrighty, folks. It's all put together now, and that's pretty decent. And it feels pretty solid. I actually like this little soft edge here. Kind of fits into the pads pretty good, I think. I'm just probably not too crazy about the hooking in the back here. It just seems a little like it would wear prematurely. Other than that, it's pretty decent. I'm happy with my purchase. It was on sale on the inside track, so I got it pretty cheap. Anyway, just rate our reviews. Peace out, guys.